Hello and welcome to Tricks of the Astray channel today. And today is the 17th of February 2017. And today's video is about Ciara. Now, as I always say on all my videos before I start, that I'm not against transgenders, alright? But I am against the fact that there is an organized system put in place to take children when they're born before they can reach the age to make a decision on a choice of what they want to do with their lives. These children are taken, castrated, or mutilated and fed hormones to live in a sex or gender that's not theirs of their own choosing. And like I've always said, the people at the helm of this, the hierarchy which controls this, which fits and fuses everything together, the doctors, the hospitals, the surrogacy clinics, the families, the money, and making this work like a well-oiled machine, is the Vatican. As I've always said also, I recommend that you watch the primer video on this channel. Look for it, the primer video. I also recommend that you watch the Zayn Malik video and the Marilyn Monroe video on this channel. Okay, I recommend you watch those three videos before you watch any other video. So if you just picked up a video to watch on this channel, I recommend you start with those. All right. Now, before I go any further, I just want to talk about some stuff and I want to let you know, what I want to tell you is that you can't trust anybody you see on TV. All right? Because TV is like, let's say you've never met your father. You don't know who your father is. And somebody told you that he does know who your father is. And he doesn't tell you the name or give you a description of what your father looks like. What does that message really do for you? It can't really do anything. So you can't trust anybody you see on TV. You can't make them your role model or someone you believe or someone you look up to, because at the end of the day, you're not working in your own best interest. They're working for the cabal. They're working for the system that's been organized. Because, like I always say, the system is designed on lies. And in order for anybody to be successful, especially when you're on TV or in any other field, be it politics, religion, whatsoever, you have to work with the lies. Otherwise, you won't be successful. It's just the way the world's designed. I'm not saying you can't be successful, but you can be successful out of that sphere by not functioning in there. So you can look up to people on TV as a role model. It doesn't matter if the person is a pastor, a so-called Christian, a cleric, whatever he is, a president. I mean, as long as he's on TV, he's not working in your own best interest. Because people on TV are vetted. What do I mean vetted? There are two types of people you see on TV. One is gonna be somebody who's working for the system, right? So, and the second person will be somebody who's worked against the system, and he wants to be shown as an example, right? As a scapegoat, as a warning to everybody else to fall in line, or somebody who's been an enemy of the system, who's been caught, and he wants to be made a perfect example of. Those are only two types of people that you see on TV. So, like I'm talking to you right now, if you happen to see me on TV, then you should know I've been vetted as well. That means I'm not working in your own best interest at all. Or I have been caught and I want to be made an example of. That means I'm an enemy of the system. All right? Then they'll put me on TV. Those are only two types of people you see on TV. Because TV is like a house, right? You don't just let anybody walk up in your house and go through your fridge, your kitchen, your rooms, and everything else. That's what TV. The person has to be a member of the house before he's in it. So you can't trust anybody you watch on TV. If you happen to see me on TV, on mainstream media, just know I've been vetted. That means I'm not working your own best interest. Don't listen to me anymore. All right. So besides that, I mean, if what I'm saying is that as long as the person is on TV, you can't trust them on mainstream media. That's just the way it is. If you picked up a video or a DVD to watch, or you went to a private channel that's not mainstream media, you could maybe work with your senses, right? To at least make sense of what you're watching. So with that said, I want to get into Ciara. So let's not waste too much of your time and let's get right into it, okay? Now here is Ciara, okay? And if you look at that neck that Ciara's got, that neck is way too wide and too strong. And one thing I want you to know is that Ciara is barely in her mid 30s. She's not even 35, because this looks like the neck of someone who's hit 50 or 60 and is beginning to lack to lack collagen in the body, all right? If you look at that neck, that's the neck of a man. That's not the neck of a female. And you can see that a lot of work has been done on the neck to hide that Adam's apple, whether through body contouring or whatsoever. But you can see that she's creating all sorts of weird angles. And you have to understand that men create angles in squares all over their body, right? Triangles and squares. Female create no angles. They create oval, beautiful, soft, nice shapes, right? Now look at those hands right here. Those hands are way too large and too long for a female. If you cut this hand right here and put it on a face, like I always say, it will fill up the face and leave little or less to nothing at all. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Now, if you've never watched this, any of you on our channel, let me just show you what I mean. There's a document that's going to be attached to every video that we watch. I recommend that you download and read that document first before you watch the primer video, the Zayn Malik video, and the Marilyn Monroe video. So let me just show you what the document is about right here. All right. Now, here's a man's hands right here. If a man cut his hands from his wrists, right, and lined it up with his face from his jaws, he's going to feel the whole entire face and leave very little out. If a female did that, the hands will feel just 3/4 of the face and leave just a quarter out. Okay? Now let's go further and show you some more pictures of Ciara, okay? Now, one thing I always like to measure are the hands. And before I even talk about the hands, let me show you something, all right? I recommend that you do that as well. Now, we're going to a wiki page, and the subject that we're typing here is called castrato, right? You can do this, you can pause the video at any time and do that, right? Google castrato wiki, right? And go to that wiki page. Click on it as I'm clicking on it right now, and scroll and start reading. Then I want you to take note of something. I'm going to highlight that and read it to you, all right? As the castrato's body grew, a castrato is somebody who's a male child. And when the male child is born, they mutilate. That means they castrate and take off his genitals, right? And they construct some sort of appendage that looks like a female genital on there. All right? Now, as it says here, as the castrator's bodies grew, his lack of testosterone meant that his epiphysis, bone joints, did not harden in the normal manner. All right? Thus, the limbs of the castrati often grew unusually long. So when you castrate a man, right, his lack of testosterone, because his genitals produce testosterone, right, for his body. When you cut that off, his bone joints don't have anomalies, so his limbs, his hands, his arms grow unusually long. So I continue. As did the bones of their ribs, this combined with intensive training gave them unrivaled lung power and breath capacity. Operating through small child-sized vocal cords, their voices were also extraordinarily flexible and quite different from the equivalent adult female voice. Their vocal range was higher than that of the uncastrated adult male. Listening to the only... I'll just stop right there, all right? So, with that said, let's go back so you can understand what I'm saying about Ciara's long arms, all right? As you can see, if you take a drawing, if you draw a line straight from a crotch across down to our arms, you will see that it ends above the wrists, which is not supposed to be the case for a female. All right? Now let's look at that again. If I draw a line across any way you want to go, across any arm, this way or that way, it ends above the wrists. If she was a female, the drawing of that line across the crotch should end inside her palms. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? Now here's a female's hands, all right? If I draw a line across this crotch, it's going to end inside the palms of her hands and not above the wrist, indicating that she is female. This lady here is female. If it ends above the wrist, it indicates that's male. Let's give you another example. All right, here's a female right here. If I draw a line from her crotch down into her arms, right, it ends inside the palms of her hands, not above the wrist, indicating she's female. If I did the same for the female over here and draw the line from her crotch down into the palms of her hands to her arms, right, it ends inside her palms, not above the wrist. I can draw it anyway, both ways. It will do the same thing, indicating that you're looking at a female. So this is how a woman's hands is supposed to be. So that's why women have a lack of reach. So let's say, for example, you have two people, one's male and one's female of the same height, right? If the woman stretches forth her hands up, she will still not have enough reach as the man who stretches his hands up, because man's hands are usually longer. Does it make sense? Now let's go further. Back into Ciara. All right. Here is another pic. As you can see with Ciara, this is what I said about the arm, the palms, right? If you cut that palm right at the wrist and place it on that face, it's going to feel the whole entire face and leave little or nothing at all, indicating that you're looking at a male. And you can also see her back. A woman is supposed to have an arch in her back. The back is supposed to start dipping just below her shoulder blades into her tummy, into her back, right? And then starts coming out right just where her navel is in front. It will dip inside and then come right back into her pelvis. All right? Now she's wearing heels, and one of the tricks of wearing heels is that when you wear heels, it puts more pressure on your back if you're male or female. And so your back starts to arch a little bit to support the weight, and because it's in an abnormal position, right? More pictures. As you can see right there, there is no arch in that back. Okay? So more pictures, so we go forward, right? Now, if you look at Ciara's neck, there's something wrong with the neck right here. As I've always said, the male skull is very heavy, because it carries about at the least 10% more brain matter than the brain of a female. So the skulls are heavier, right? And the structure is also heavier. So in order to support the heavy skull, the neck has to be wider. It's basic architectural design. If you have something heavier on top, you have to have a wider support and a stronger base. Now, if you look at Ciara's neck, like I said, as of today, she's barely 35, but she has the neck of someone that's over 50 or 60. Why? Because there is a lot going on with the neck. The neck is strong, and then they're also working on it to soften it, to make it look like a female's neck, but it's not working. As you can see, the skin is starting to give up here. Can you see that? And look at how flat her tummy is. A woman's tummy always curves from the side in, and curves from the top, and curves from the bottom, and dips right and slants into the pelvis. Males' tummies are usually flat, showing you clear signs that you're looking at a male and not a female. All right? Let's go further. Same thing with the neck area right here. Can you see that? Same thing with the knees. All right? You're supposed to see less kneecap around here if you're female. Male have more kneecap to display. All right? Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Some more pictures. Look at the neck again. See how wide and strong it is? Because it has a heavy skull. It has to support a lot of brain matter and the heavy skull on top, showing you that you're looking at a male. All right? Can you see that? All right, some more pictures. Look at the straight back again. Look how long the arms are. The arms of a castrati, a castrated male, a mutilated male. Right? Can you see that? See how long the arms are? And there's no arch in the back. It's just straight up and down into the pelvis. And don't mind this fake bottom, boys. These ain't real. Alright? Except you're homosexual, then you can just go ahead. And that's fine. Alright? Let's go further. Look at the hands again. See how huge the hands are? If you compare her hands to the arms of a so-called husband right here, you will see the same thing. It's almost bigger than his, showing you clear signs that you're looking at a male. All right, some more pictures. Now I put up this picture just to show you one of the tricks of the trade, right? Besides the fact that I always tell you that most castrated males always carry long hair. The long hair is for a reason, so it can cover up the shoulders and the strange looking neck that you're gonna see, right? So now when a man he wears heels, as in all cases, even if you're female, it puts a lot of pressure on your back. So your back tries to arch, right, to support all that weight and the abnormal positions that you are in. But you can still see that this back is still straight up, down into the pelvis. It doesn't have a dip. It doesn't have an arch. It doesn't have an S-shaped back. All right? Now, if you don't know, I recommend that you watch, you go and read the documents. But I'll just show you so you know what I'm talking about. Here's a visual example of what I'm saying. All right? A man's back goes straight. It doesn't arch. It doesn't dip. It doesn't turn into an S shape. When I say an arch, it has to turn into an S shape. The back has to dip just below the shoulder blades and start dipping, then starts coming out right above the navel and into the pelvis. The back has to arch that way because a female is supposed to carry children, bear children, be pregnant. So in order for her to support the weight of pregnancy and not break down under it, the back has to arch to the way for support. It's just the way things are designed. All right? Now let's go further. Now, can you see how Ciara runs here? What would this remind you? It reminds you of like Carl Lewis or Ben Johnson if you watch the Olympics running. This is how a man runs. Look at the angles this thing creates, the elbows, the knees, the shoulders. Can you see the well-developed trapezius muscles right there? Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Can you see that? All right, more pictures. Let's go further. Can you see the hands that I'm telling you about? Which female has this kind of arms? Look at how long the arms are. Look at the angles it creates at the elbows. Look at how strong the neck is. And she's not even 34, just to remind you. If you cup the hands at this point and pull it into the face, it fills the whole entire face and leaves nothing. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Some more pictures. Can you see that? See how large the hands are? See how huge the neck is? Can you see it? Okay, let's go further. Now, look at these knees right here. Those are the knees of a male. If you don't know how a female's knees should look like, because like I said, men have more kneecaps. So when you walk, that thing is going to be bulging out. Let's show you how a female's knees should look. All right? Now look at those knees right there. You see less kneecap, right? Show you another one. See that right there? Less kneecap. Show you another one. Anyhow she sits or turns, a woman sits and turns, you're going to say less kneecap. It's not going to be bulging out and shooting out at you. Right? Can you see that? All right. Show you some more. See that? how the knees bend, it doesn't create weird angles. Like I said, men create squares and triangles all over the body. Female produce oval round shapes. All right, some more pictures so you see that again. See the way she sits? See that? Less kneecap, revealing. Okay, so that's how a female sits. All right, now let's go back to Ciara. See that kneecap over there? That's a male's kneecap. All right, see the weird angles and shapes she creates? Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Let's go further. Look at that again. Look at this picture right here. Look at the strong neck muscles, right? To support the heavy skull. Look at the shoulders. How broad, how across the body it is into a T, and how the shoulders hang outside the trunk of the body. Can you see that? If you draw a line right up the armpit straight up here, you see there is more shoulder exposed. Make sense? If you draw a line right here, right? It doesn't end inside the palms of our wrists. It doesn't end inside the palms of our hands. It ends above it, showing you that you're looking at a male. Let's go further. See how long the arms are? You draw the same thing that I tell you from the crotch right across. You see it ends above the wrists. It doesn't end inside the palms of our hands, meaning that you're looking at a male. Right? Some more pictures. Now, look at that neck. As I've said before, she's barely 34. Today is the 17th of February 2017, and this thing that we're looking at is barely 34. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. You draw a line from the crotch down to the palms of our hands. It ends above the wrists. It doesn't end inside the palms. Clear signs that you're looking at a male and not a female. All right? Can you see that? If you draw that right here across, it ends above the wrist and not inside the palms of our hands. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Okay, let's go further. Look at how long the arms are. It is ridiculously long. A female's hand should never be this long. All right? Let's go further. Look at the weird angles. Look at that neck again. Can you see that? How strong and developed the neck is? And look at all that. Females don't have that. Look at the weird angles this thing creates. Squares all over her body. Right? Look at the fat distribution. It seems like little to less no fat at all, because women have supple, fine, beautiful fat spread all over the body. That makes a woman look supple and beautiful when you look at, right? Except you're homosexual, then there is nothing I can do about it, right? You see all that? Can you see all that? Okay, let's go further. Look at the straight back. Straight. It doesn't arch or dip like an S. How is this thing supposed to make babies or carry them? So that makes you ask the question, where did Ciara get those children from? Like I always said, where did he get it from? Okay, we go further. Look at that. Look at the arms. Right? Look at the hands. Now she's bent over here, so if I try to draw the line, you can still see it doesn't end inside the palms of her wrist, right? It still wants to go above it, right? Look at that neck again area. Wide, strong neck supporting the heavy skull. Okay, some more pictures. Look at this picture right here. Now, I've always told people when you're comparing skulls, when you want to compare skulls, you have to compare skulls of the same ethnicity and same height, all right? For you to know if you're looking at a male or female, right? Because males usually have at the least 10% more brain matter and 10% bigger skulls than females. Now, you have to understand that Ciara right here is wearing heels. That means she's shorter than Russell Simmons, who's her husband, right? Okay? Now, because she's shorter, we can make that comparison of skulls. But if you look closely, for a short woman, she has a pretty large skull compared to the taller man. Clear signs that you're looking at two males, and that she's not a male, but she's not a female, but a male. All right? Can you see the well-developed neck over here? Look at this dude over here. He doesn't even have the kind of neck he has. All right? Let's go further. Look at that strong neck again. The strong neck required to carry the heavy load of the bigger skull and bigger brain matter. Does it make any sense to you now? Let's go further. Look at that. The length of the arm again. Right? From the crotch. It sits above the wrist. It's not inside the palms of our hands. And look at how strong that neck is. Look at how flat the tummy is, right? It has no curves whatsoever. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. All right? Look at that width. I mean, if you just look at that, you know that this is a man trying to look like a woman. Look at how straight the back is. There's no curve. Look at how long the arms are. Look at how huge the hands are. Look at how long the arms are. Look at that strong neck. All right, let's go further. Look at that neck right here again. Can you see that? You're looking at a male. Look at the eyebrow ridge right here. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. And it's funny, this is the kind of black woman that's portrayed to black girls, and they say that they should look up after their models, all right? Because I've seen her try to sing on a Black Girls Rock, that BET show. That's why you can't trust anybody you see on TV. Let's go further. Look at the arms again. Look at how long they are, right? Look at the strong neck. Look at how flat the tummy is. All right. Look at the hands again. Like I said, if you cut the arms and pull it into the face, it will feel the whole entire face and leave nothing else. And look at that neck. All right. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right. Look at how long these arms are. It is ridiculously long. Look at how strong the neck is. The neck muscles. Wow. You're looking at a male. And this was going to be passed off to you as female. Right? Can you see that? Okay. Let's go further. Look at how large those hands are. Like I said, if you cut the hands right here and pull it into the face, it will feel the whole entire face and leave nothing else. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. Look at that neck as well. Like I've always said, don't fall for the long hair. It's always a distraction to cover up the neck and the shoulder muscles so you can know that you're looking at a male. All right, let's go further. Can you see how long the arms are and how huge these hands are? Can you see that? Okay, let's go further. Look at those knees. Like I've always said, a man have more kneecaps, so you're going to see more kneecaps. If it was a woman standing, you wouldn't see this. The legs are not shaped that way because of the long kneecap. Can you see that? Let's go further. Look at the straight back again. There's no arch in that back. Can you see that? Straight back. No arch in the back. Look at how huge those hands are. My goodness. The hands are so huge, if you put it upon the face, it will cover the whole entire face. Clear signs that you're looking at a male. All right? So, with that said, I think I've come to the end of this video. And the one thing that I always try to show you is because, like most other channels that you may find on YouTube will try to confuse you because they are disinfo agents. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, for example, they'll tell you that Beyonce is a tranny, which is fact, which is true, all right? And so, without educating you on what you should be looking for and the things that you should be looking at when you're trying to figure out if someone is male or female. So, for example, they'll tell you that Beyonce is a tranny, all right? Or they can tell you Serena Williams is a tranny, which is fact. And then they tell you Lil' Kim is a tranny as well. And they can tell you Rihanna is a tranny. And they can tell you, who else would I think of right now? And They could tell you Lady Gaga is a tranny. They could tell you Madonna is a tranny. All right. Now Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Madonna, right? And Kim Kardashian. Sorry, I meant Kim Kardashian, not little Kim. Okay, when I first said that, they are all females. So when those channels tell you that, and they tell you that Beyonce, which is fact, is a tranny, and Serena Williams is a tranny, which is fact, you get confused. You can't know the difference. So you start thinking everybody is a tranny. It's not the case. Not everybody in Hollywood is a tranny. Most are, or let me say, some are. All right. So my channel is dedicated to like really educating you. So that's why I'll advise you. Download the document that is attached to every video. When you finish watching the video, go down, right, and reduce the screen. Click on say show more, all right, on the tab, and you see a link. Get that link and download that document. Read it. Then look for the primer video on this channel, as well as the Zayn Malik video and Marilyn Monroe video, and watch those videos. It will explain a whole lot to you, and you come to a perfect understanding of how to distinguish between male and female. And like I've said earlier, you can't trust anybody you see on TV. If you see me on TV or you hear that on mainstream media, please don't listen to my channel anymore. Know that I've been bought and I've been vetted, and I'm no longer going to be working in your own best interest. All right? Thank you, and bye-bye. Stay tuned.